welcome back to the channel. Today I am at Durham Raiders and I'm facing off against Sam's Nurgle, and quite ironically the Necrons originally came from Sam, so I thought why not bring them back for him. So today we're on this abandoned Imperial world that has been plagued by Nurgle's rot, and the Imperium have ran. So Nurgle's rot has brought the city to the ground, the Sky Shield landing pad and the supplies left totally abandoned by the Imperium. But little did the gods of chaos know this was actually a Necron tomb world. So the Cardanesh dynasty has rose to drive the plague from their planet. Right, so the mission today is Deadlock. We've got the 6 objectives. Number 1, number 2 in the centre, number 3 on this flank, number 6 on the outskirts over here, 5 nearly in the centre, and number 4 in the ruined building at this side. So as it stands, Sam has first turn and I'm going second, but let's have a quick look through the forces. Right, so the Necron forces holding up this flank, we've got 3 tomb blades with shield vanes and nebula scopes with gauze blasters. We've got the same here with particle beamers. We've got the shard of the Nightbringer in the centre. Unit of 10 warriors and the stalker with an annihilation barge. Down here we've got 5 Warscythe Lich Guard, Anakia and the Cryptek. The Cryptek has a chronometron, and unfortunately that's not going to be much use against the lack of shooting in Sam's force, but never mind. The Cryptek is actually the Warlord, and his Warlord trait is reroll the D3. We've then got 6 Immortals holding this flank here in reserve. We've got a Night Scythe with another 10 warriors in. As for Sam's army, well, there's not a lot, but he's got a lot of rewards, so let's have a look through that. Right, so Sam's Nurgle force, I'll try and talk through it. We've got a Demon Prince here. He's got Hellfire Gaze, Warp Tether. He's rolled on Biomancy for Iron Arm, Life Leech, Smite, and of course Hemorrhage. We've got a unit of 14 Plague Bearers with a Herald, and that's Worm Herald. He's got Wind of Chaos, Enfeeble, Smite, and Life Leech. We've got another Demon Prince here. He gets to re-roll his Invuns. He's got Rage and Rampage. For Biomancy, rolled Enfeeble, Iron Arm, and Life Leech. We've got another Great Unclean one here. This is the Warlord, and he's got Hatred. He's got Feel No Pain 4+, and Wind of Chaos. And again, we've got another unit of 14 Plague Bearers here as well. That Herald has Wind of Chaos, Enfeeble, Smite, and Endurance. Lovely. And then we've got a unit of 3 Nurglings there as well. Right, so like I said, Nurgle currently has first turn, unless the Necrons can seize. Can we? Nope, so let's move on to Nurgle turn 1. Right, so Sam's playing with the Supremacy objective cards. He's got a Storm objective 3, which he might not be able to get this turn, but I am on objective 3 and he might be able to get it. He's drew Defend objective 5, which is secure for 2 turns. Defend objective 6, which the Demon Prince here is right next to, and of course objective 5 right in the middle. He's got Control the Field, control at least 2 even numbered objective markers, so he's going to be able to get 6 and 4. Cleanse and Burn, he's got to keep all enemy models at least 3 inches away from objective marker 4, which he's going to do. And Disrupt and Command, he's got to kill stuff. Right, so the Nurglings have pushed forward here onto objective 4. They're going to secure that hopefully for 2 turns, and of course one of the even numbers. The Plague Bearers and the Herald, and of course the Great Unclean one and the Demon Prince pushing forward, as are these guys here. And there's objective 5, which Sam needs to defend for 2 turns. And as I said, the Demon Prince over here is going to have to probably hold them back for 1 turn just to get defend objective marker 6 there. So we're moving on to the second phase, and it's going to be brutal. Sam has 13 dice base. Right, so the second phase was a lot less punishing than I thought. Sam enfeebled the warriors here, so they're down Toughness and Strength 3. Meanwhile, this guy has endurance on him for a 4+ feel no pain. This side, the Demon Prince here managed to get Iron Arm off. I'm wounding most of his big stuff on 6s anyway, so figured might as well let him have it. Warp Storm table, Sam rolled a 7, which means nothing happens. Everything is calm for the moment. Right, so shooting phase, both Heralds and the Great Unclean One used Winds of Chaos. I managed to kill a whole Necron. Obviously being enfeebled meant that my res was down to a 6 up, and I managed to pass one of the 2 wounds that Sam managed to inflict. The only other thing that he's done in the shooting phase is this Demon Prince has ran forward. So let's have a look at the scores. Right, so at the end of Nurgle turn 1, Sam has scored Control the Field as he controls objectives 6 and 4. For D3 victory points, and he rolled a 1. And Cleanse and Burn, he scores D3 as there's none of my models within 9 inches, and he rolled a 5, so he scores 3 points, putting him straight away on 4-0. Right, so my turn. I've drew Big Game Hunter, kill a monstrous creature, which might be possible. Secure Objective 5, which I'm not going to get. Secure Objective 2, Secure Objective 1 twice, and of course Psychological Warfare, which is going to be difficult given most of the demons are essentially fearless. Right, so on this flank the Tomb Blades have leapt into action, and I'm hoping that we can get rid of the Nurglings, seeing as these guys have Nebula Scopes to ignore cover. However, these guys count as difficult terrain due to being enfeebled and got a 2-inch move, not what I wanted at all. The Nightbringer obviously moving forward as well. Hopefully we should be able to get something tasty off on this guy here, as well as the Annihilation Barge. The Annihilation Barge is going to score me objective 2, and of course the Lich Guard pushing forward. I'm hoping to use them as bait and maybe tie up that Prince. Maybe he'll charge the Annihilation Barge first, who knows. So that's it for movement. Let's move on to shooting. Necrons that were marching forward diverted all of the firepower to the charging Demon Prince, and despite having rerollable invuns and feel no pain, we managed to bring him down. It took fire from the Warriors, the Stalker, the Ark, even Anakia's Tachyon Arrow, and the Immortals managed to bring him down just. The Nightbringer decided to take a pop, where I only got Cosmic Fire, and I scattered back slightly, killing one of the Plague Bearers. Meanwhile, the Tomb Blades at this side, unfortunately not getting too many hits, but the Strength 6 Particle Casters managing to double out the Ignores cover on these Nurglings. Wasn't too bad at all, but unfortunately one of them still stands on objective 4. So let's have a look at the scores. Right, so I score 1 point for Big Game Hunter and also First Blood. I score objective 2 for another point, and I score objective 1 twice, putting me at 5 points. I think I'm going to discard Psychological Warfare. So Sam's still got Storm Objective 3, I think he's going to get that one next turn, as that Demon Prince is going to be defending Objective 6 for the second turn. Defending Objective 5, the Plague Bearers and Great Unclean One are close to. Disrupt the command, and he needs to kill a HQ, which I'm guessing he's going for now. And he's drew Careful Time to score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if you control the objective marker whose number corresponds to your current turn. So Objective 2 is right in the centre, and he can get to it. So I think Sam is going to be scoring a lot of points this turn. Alright, so this Demon Prince is pushing forward as far as he can, but he's still within 3 inches of the objective, looking to possibly start and whittle down the Immortals. Over this side, the Great Unclean One and the Plague Bearer there are just within 3 inches of this objective at the back, and I think Sam may be possibly going for that Annihilation Barge. Meanwhile, the Plague Bearers this side got a 6-inch move through cover onto objective 2, which means Sam is going to trump me on there. So that's it for movement. Let's move on to the Psychic phase. Right, so in the Psychic phase, this guy cast Smite and Leech Life and took down 2 of the Immortals on this flank. Luckily, passing their leadership test at the end of the Psychic phase. However, in the centre, the Lich Guard took fire repeatedly from Leech Life, and I think Sam tried to get Endurance off on the Great Unclean One. But unfortunately, every other Psychic power that he pretty much cast failed, apart from one Leech Life. Managed to get a single hit down here, but unfortunately failed to wound. So that is it for the Psychic phase. Moving into the shooting phase, the Warp Storm table, Sam rolled a 12, so you got to summon a unit of 2d6 plus 3 Plague Bearers. Well, Sam only has one Plague Bearer in reserve because it's the one that I killed, and he's summoned him back there, getting a direct hit, meaning he'll score that one and can actually charge these forward now in the assault phase. So, not too shabby a psychic phase at all. Right, so the Demon Prince at this side shot through at the Warriors with Hellfire Gears, managing to kill one of them. Meanwhile, the Lich Guard in the centre took fire from the Great Unclean One and the Herald in the middle. The Herald getting a strength 10, large blast, and lots of tasty hits, but thankfully 3-up armour on the Lich Guard survives. Meanwhile, the Herald at this side targeted the Annihilation Barge and scattered back onto the Plague Bearers, doing 3 wounds, but Sam passing all of his invuns. And that was it for shooting. So, the favourite as part of a Nurgle list, charge. Right, so in the assault phase, the Plague Bearers and the Herald in here charged at the Annihilation Barge, and between them all, actually only just getting the 3 glances that Sam needed to get rid of it. That does mean he is going to score objective 2. These guys here also attempted a charge against the Lich Guard there, but unfortunately Sam only rolled a 5 and he needed a 7. So with that, let's have a look at the scores. Sam scores defend objective 5 as he's held that for 2 turns, defend objective 6 which he's held for 2 turns, and careful timing, he now scores objective 2, giving him 5 more points, putting him at 9. Right, so turn 2 Necrons, we've drew Witch Hunter, secure objective 3, 5 and 6, and Kingslayer, so I'm hoping to get Witch Hunter and Kingslayer at the same time. Objective 3, the Immortals are on, 5 and 6 are going to be difficult, but we do have reserves in the form of Doom Scythe. Right, so the Tomb Blades, the ones with the particle beamers, have jumped up to hopefully get rid of these Nurglings, and these guys are pulled round looking to get a beat in on the Great Unclean One at this side. The Night Scythe and of course the Warriors that were in it have jumped out and looking to simply pump enough shots into that Great Unclean One to try and take him down. Hopefully we can do well enough. I've moved the Lich Guard forward into the centre. Should hopefully be able to get a charge. We measured it, it's an 8-inch charge, but we'll see what happens in the shooting phase. We've got a couple of fires, a couple of shots coming in from the Warriors here, as well as the Nightbringer being able to use Gaze of Death as well. So shooting went reasonably well for most of the guys that can shoot. We managed to drop the Great Unclean One to 2 wounds. We do use Gaze of Death from the Nightbringer though, and I rolled a 4 on 3 dice. Amazing. I also got Seismic Assault, which unfortunately did absolutely 0 wounds to him. I even tried to charge the Lich Guard in, leading an 8-inch charge, and I rolled a 3. So yeah, not so good at all. So let's have a look at the points that I score. Right, so I didn't get Witch Hunter or Kingslayer unfortunately. I only scored objective 3. I don't know what to do. Do I discard objective 6 because that's quite a way out, but there's a lot in the middle which means I'm not going to be able to score objective 5. Decisions. But if Sam pulls forward the charge, then I might be able to get on it. I think I'll keep both. So Sam's drew No Mercy, which is kill lots of stuff in the shooting and assault phase, and he's also drew Drive Them Back, which means he has to steal an objective that I'm currently controlling. So that's objective 3, which would also give him Storm objective 3 as well. So let's have a look at the movement. The movement phase, this Lone Plague Bearer and the Great Unclean One are coming for this unit of warriors here, and the Plague Bearers there are looking to charge the Catan, I think. Sam wants it to blow up in my face as well. These Plague Bearers, don't know where they're going. Now they're going to go for the Lich Guard, and at this side this Demon Prince is going for the 3 remaining mortals, hopefully trying to get objective 3. It's a psychic phase. This guy cast Smite and Life Leech on these, unfortunately not doing any damage at all. Meanwhile, the mess in the centre, the Lich Guard have been enfeebled by both of the Heralds, which means they're down to toughness 3, and Sam's going to be getting to reroll to wound with that poison. The big guy back here cast Smite and Life Leech and managed to gain 2 wounds back, killing 3 of the warriors. I tried to stop Life Leech, but unfortunately couldn't. So not a bad turn of Psychic for Sam, but I think the assault phase is going to be pretty brutal. Right, down in the centre, the Heralds use Wind of Chaos on the Lich Guard there, killing 1. The Herald here killing 1 of the warriors, and the Great Unclean One bringing 3 of them down as well. It's a very quick shooting phase there for the Nurgle. However, like I said, this combats are going to be brutal. Right, so combat phase down here, we managed to beat the plague bearers down. The Nightbringer issued a challenge to the Herald stepped up and accepted, and the Nightbringer cut him down. However, he took a wound in the process. The Necrons standing tall as well, and even killing a plague bearer or two. Sam failed his leadership by 2, and as a result, lost another 2 plague bearers. However, combat at this side didn't go so well. Anakia issued a challenge to the Herald, put a wound on him. The Herald put a wound back on him due to being toughness 3 and getting to reroll those poison wounds. We managed to kill the plague bearer there as well, so tied combat in the centre. Meanwhile, down here, the plague bearer charged in. We cut him down with Overwatch, and the Great Unclean One managed to cut down 2 of the Necron warriors. I was hoping he would kill more, so I could shoot at him in my turn, but never mind. Hopefully we can stay there until the next turn. Right, so at the end of that turn, Sam doesn't score any points. Unfortunately, he's elected to discard Storm their command and keep hold of these ones, so hopefully he's going to get objective 3 next turn for a couple of points. Right, so at the start of my turn, I've still got Witch Hunter, Kingslayer, Secure 6 and Secure 5. Right, so these Tomb Blades are going to stay back here, see if I can score either objective 4 or 1 if it comes back up. Meanwhile, the other ones have moved forward 12 and then turbo boosted another 12 to score me objective 5. The Night Scythe and the Stalker have came sideways, gotten some shots in at the Demon Prince here as well as the Immortals, and we managed to inflict 2 wounds on him. So he's down to 2 or 3. He's down to 2 wounds anyway. So not too bad of a shooting phase. I'm just hopeful that the combats go more my way. Right, so combats went more our way this time. We managed to cut down most of the plague bearers here, but demonic instability meant that there's only 2 left, which is good for me because then I should kill them in Sam's assault phase. Over here we managed to bring 5 of them down with demonic instability, and Sam not managing to get through the armour despite those rerolls to wound because of Enfeeble, which is now off. And the Great Unclean One ate 3 more warriors. They did pass their leadership check and they are staying around, which again is great because he'll kill them in his turn. So let's have a look at what points I score. Right, so I only score secure objective 5, but I am going to keep hold of all of the others as I reckon I can potentially take out the Great Unclean One, but we'll have to see. All of his turn apart from the assaults. This guy moved forward 6. In the psychic phase he used Smite and Hemorrhage, killing all 3 of the Immortals, and then he's ran a single inch, getting him onto objective 3, which is of course going to score Sam those additional victory points. So we've got these 3 lovely combats to do. So in a blaze of glory, the Nightbringer hacked apart the remaining plague bearers, and he's corralling the warriors towards the Great Unclean One as he cut down the remaining 2 warriors. Combat's here in the centre, no wounds exchanged hardly, and only 1 Lich Guard and 1 Plague Bearer being brought down, so that's a tied combat in the centre there. Anarchy, you're only getting a single wound on the Herald, but the Herald passing is feel no pain. So let's have a look at Sam's points. So Sam does score Storm objective 3, and drive them back is what scores him that as well for 2 points. No Mercy, killed the unit in combat for, again, 1 more point, so that's gone in 4 points, puts him at 13 to my 7, I think. Right, so I've got Witch Hunter still, secure objective 6 and Kingslayer. So as a result of those combats last turn, everything that can shoot is converging in on the Great Unclean One. The Tomb Blades at the back there, I'm going to fire them last. If I don't kill the Great Unclean One, my turbo boost them to just within 15 inches of objective 6 over there, depending on how many wounds I do, because I will be charging these guys, or the Catan rather, into the Great Unclean One. The Flyer's gone off the board, so the Demon Prince over this side is going to be ignored for this turn, and hopefully we can get out of this combat in the assault phase. Gaze of Death only getting 1 wound through on the Great Unclean One, but Sam passing is feel no pain against it. The rapid fire from the warriors and the shots from the Tomb Blades over here, as well as Seismic Assault, and the Heat Ray from the Stalker back here, has brought the Great Unclean One to 1 wound. Just 1. So I'm going to charge the Katana in the hope that I can actually take him out. And the Tomb Blades have flat outed onto objective 6 to hopefully score me that. So, 2 crucial combats here. I think whoever comes off better on this is probably going to be in a good position going into turn 5. So it looks as though these two had a bit of a slugging match, and I came off worse for it, taking a single wound from the Great Unclean One. I only got a single wound through, and Sam passed his invuln. In combats down here though, Anakia finally slew the Herald and one of the Plague Bearers. The Lich Guard in turn cutting down another 2 and losing 1 to demonic instability as well. So it's not going too bad at all. We didn't get Witch Hunter or Kingslayer, but I do score objective 6. Right, so Sam has drew Storm objective 2, which is going to be difficult as I have Necron Warriors on it, and primary target as well, which unfortunately Mikatan is only on 2 wounds. Right, so we've done the movement and psychic phase. This guy cast Hemorrhage, Smite and something else on the warriors here, and only succeeded in killing 1 of them. So massive turn of events for Sam. These guys unfortunately failed their leash and ran back 7 inches as a result of taking casualties in the psychic phase. The start of the shooting phase, I lost the Tomb Blades over there to the Warbstone table. It was, what was the name of the one? Rot Glorious Rot, and Sam managed to get 4 wounds through at AP 3, so I lost them. This guy meanwhile managed to get a glance with his lance, see what I did there, on the side armour of the Stalker, and then made a 12-inch charge. I did however get a single wound on Overwatch. I managed to hit with both and wound with both as well, and unfortunately we didn't do any damage to him in combat. Down here, Anarchy had chopped apart the last 2 of the Plague Bearers and consolidated 2 inches out to contest this objective, because the Great Unclean One is still slowly chopping away at the Catan. The Catan getting 2 wounds through, Sam passing an invuln, and a 4 feel no pain. We need to bring him down for some serious points. My fly is going to come back on, but he's not going to be able to do anything, and there's only 2 wounds of Sam's left on the board. We'll have to see whether or not we can bring them down. I've still got Witch Hunter and Kingslayer. I need to take down that Great Unclean One, but the problem is Sam's ahead on points. The flyers come on this side. He's not going to be able to shoot anything as everything's in combat at the moment, but depending on how combat's going, might be able to shoot if the game goes to turn 6. Down here I've detached Anakia and the Cryptek, and they're going to charge in to hopefully cut down this Demon Prince, and the 3 Lich Guard there are hopefully going to take out the Great Unclean One with the Catan. These guys passed the morale check and have consolidated onto objective number 2. And of course the Tomb Blades are going for Linebreaker, really thinking about that game ending. So hopefully we can bring these 2 guys down, otherwise it's going to be very difficult to try and come back from the amount of points that Sam has. Wow, what an explosion in the centre here. The Lich Guard charged in to help support the Catan. The Catan cut down the Great Unclean One with his scythe, and the Great Unclean One punched through the heart and chest of the Catan, causing it to explode, killing 1 of the warriors and 2 of the Lich Guard. The Lich Guard then fleeing. Meanwhile down here, the Demon Prince inflicting a single wound on Anakia, and Anakia getting 2 wounds through on the Prince, but Sam passing both of his saves. So as it stands, that is the end of turn 5. Do score Witch Hunter, Slay the Warlord and D3 for Kingslayer. I need big points. 1. Fantastic. Sam, does the game continue though? On a 3 up? No, so let's add up the scores. So, remembering the Warlord trait, I get to re-roll my D3s, and I just re-rolled it for a 6. So we've just added up the points, and Sam unfortunately doesn't have Linebreaker with this Demon Prince. That is the only model he has left. But I do have Linebreaker, I do get Slay the Warlord for that, and I scored First Blood, which puts the score at 14 points to Sam's 13. And with that, the Necrons have purged the rot of Nurgle from their tomb world. However, there's lots of Imperial supplies still lying about. Who is going to turn up to take on the Necrons next? We shall have to find out. Right, so with that, the game is over. A huge thank you to Sam for coming down and bringing his Nurgle army. I thought it was quite ironic that I brought his own Necrons back against him and he suffered the hands of defeat by a single point, all because of a warlord trait. So, like I said, big thanks to Sam for coming down. Today's game is filmed at Durham Raiders. Please check them out on Facebook. Whole host of games going on, including fantasy, 40k, X-Wing, Malifaux, you name it, somebody plays it. So, thanks very much for watching and we'll see you next time.